Brought to you by Pepsi Cola, real sugar.
Not a real sponsor.
This is Grant Travels and Airplane312 coming at you.
Okay, now
The difficult video.
he was talking about later in the two previous videos about his RV. That's probably going to be an interview when he drops off for the final time.
I get the final on it, yeah.
But if not, there was a reason why he didn't do it.
What do you mean that the reason why? This is gonna be
the reason why is he probably forgot or was in a rush.
Yeah, well, between the driving and then figuring out where to park and everything, yeah, you end up forgetting stuff during the day. But I'm ending RV transport not because I really want to. It's because from health reasons. I have like a bump showing up there. That's getting bigger and bigger. That's got me worried. And then I got a blackhead thing popping up there. And then I got like a bump or something, like a fatty tissue thing showing up there. Then I have to do something about my teeth because my jaw is swollen up. I went into this a little bit on that one video. And then I got to get my eyes looked at because my prescriptions give me headaches at times. All of these things can be done at the Indian Hospital for free, but I pretty much have to live within a certain distance of that hospital because I have to routinely come back and forth to it, and that means I got to come off the road because I can't go out there transporting and then come back for an appointment and go out there again. It would be too costly to do that. So.
And you can't go to like any other Indian deal because that's going to be complicated and a nightmare waiting to happen.
I looked into coming up here to Miles City, but the closest is Hardin, which is 100 miles from here. I think
so.
We're down there by Billings, which is about 100. Billings is 100.
Just a second. I'm going to pause this for a quick second. We'll give you the correct estimate of how far from Miles City real quick. Just give us a quick second. Yep, go on.
Yeah, so we're slightly closer to Hardin than Billings, but it would still put me at about the 100-mile marker. And you have to be within 100 miles of an Indian hospital, any Indian hospital for them to help you. And then that's a sister tribe. It's not my tribe, but they would work with me, kind of, but then they have to get approval from my tribe to do stuff, and it basically ends up being the middleman type of deal, so it wouldn't work out for me to stay here.
So it's virtually 12 more minutes and you're in Billings, Montana.
Yeah, but so yeah, Hardin is pretty much a suburb of Billings, kind of out on the east side-ish. They're starting to be a suburb of it, and the reservation is what we're talking about in Hardin. Montana is one of the towns in it.
And I think the next one's like Lame Deer, Montana's.
Yeah, but that's the closest would be Hardin is the closest to here that I'd be able to qualify. And like I say, it's just a sister tribe. I would have to get everything approved through my tribe to work through their tribe.
It goes like a nightmare, like you're bouncing like a ping pong deal.
Yeah.
Just like for me and stuff, I'm battling with Social Security and stuff. It's battling like you need to submit a lot of paperwork and then they have to send.
I'm still trying to get my tribe to pay for stuff that happened to me when I was here for 2020 during COVID. I had to get checked to work for Professional Transportation Company. I had to go get checked for COVID, and that was $60 bill or something. Now it's up to $150 or $300 or something like that. Still haven't got it paid off. I should have just paid it myself, but the tribe covers all our health care if we send it in. They still haven't paid it, and that's just straight up money. That's not even dealing with the actual middle place through.
It could have been me like this. Like I could just pay for it, send the tribal a bill, and say, by the way, you owe me like $70, and I could just wait and stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm wondering, why isn't the bill going up?
So the government is great on giving us free health care as long as we go to their hospital, the Indian hospital, to do it. And so my choices are to go to Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, their hospital on site, or the one that's their satellite sister in Rapid City, which is their hospital. They're both the same tribe. And either one are about roughly 100 miles from Chatter, Nebraska, where I'm going to go move to.
And then if he was transporting, it would have been the exact same. We were talking about it, like the one in Hardin. If he was in a different state, like Colorado or somewhere like that, it would have been the same results that their tribe has to talk to his tribe. And
yeah, so it's just easier to go directly through my tribal's hospital because they'd have to play middleman if I don't. And so going to Rapid City or Pine Ridge is my best bet. And the closest to that is where I have relatives. My mom and my brother live in Chatter, Nebraska, so I'm just going to go stay there and rent an apartment across the hall from them for the time being because all of us need to get looked at for various different reasons. Those are just the reasons I'm pointing out, and then I have something on my side that hurts, and then I've gained weight that could just be helped by exercising, which is part of the reason I'm coming off the road too, is so I'll quit eating as much fast food, because it's easier to just pull into a fast food place, eat and leave, than to cook for yourself and clean up after yourself and everything while you're on the road. So now that I have an apartment, I can do all the cooking and cleaning myself.
And we feel bad for truckers that are over the road and stuff.
Yeah, because they...
And this, I hate to say it, but this is the results.
Well, statistically, 17% or something of the truck drivers that go out there have shortened their lifespan by 17%. Just by getting that truck and working that truck every day and living on the road and eating those kinds of food.
And this also counts for transportation too, like what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the same thing. I'm basically a version of it, because I'm drive just as much as they do. And that's the other thing is my driving foot, which for now I have a harder sole into the shoe, but that's only a temporary fix. Again, I just basically need to quit driving as much. And there's nothing you can do about that, really. There's no surgeries or nothing you can do. Just quit driving as many hours as I've driven, and then I'll finally quit doing that. So that's my basic health issues at the moment. Mostly I need to lose weight.
And this is the reason why he wanted to win the contest and stuff for a vehicle and stuff.
Yeah, because I wanted to go do DoorDash and Spark and stuff like that, and if I had a new vehicle, I would probably be up here working that, because I could afford to drive that brand new, reliable vehicle back and forth to my reservation to get looked at if I had to. But since I didn't win it, I've got to do what I can do.
It's not like we're a sore loser or anything like that. Life happens for a reason. You're not going to win every contest.
Yeah, and you never know. I might be like the push that my brother and my mom need to help push them to go down to the hospital, get looked at for their different things they got going on too, so you never know. Might work out for everybody, just get in a car and go together.
And whatever you believe in, like if you believe in a different type of God, I hate to say it, but in America and stuff, we have a freedom of religion and stuff, and most of us believe in the different makers and stuff.
Well, that's actually technically a good thing, Nobody can push anything off on anybody else.
Yeah.
Along with many of our other rights. You have the freedom to pack a gun around if you want to or not. And you can't tell people they can't pack around the stuff because it's their right to pack if they want to. You have the freedom to not have to quarter soldiers in the house. That's what our Third Amendment is. You have the freedom against illegal searches and seizures. So the government can't just come in and take your stuff without a warrant specifically for that stuff. So we have lots of our freedoms, and that's the good thing. This last 4th of July was the 250th anniversary of this nation's birth. And when they signed our Declaration of Independence.
And then it's like in 1783 was technically the full.
Well, yeah.
The full history of it.
Yeah. But that's mainly my health issues. You want to flip the phone to you?
I guess we can. I can pause this in a little. I guess we could put this in all in one view.
Yeah, it's only fair.
Okay.
Not bad idea. There you go.
You look bad, mister.
I'm not sure I'm gonna get all.
Okay, so back to what I was talking about. Was a disease that I had. I probably talked about in that one video and stuff about the 4th of July or one other video. I don't remember. But I have a disease called neurofibromatosis. It's a genetic disease, like I said before. It creates like brain tumors and stuff, bumps on my skin. I could show you on my arms upside down, but bumps on my skin. And it can create dizziness, spells, pretty much everything. It can completely destroy your body inside and out. There's not really a common cure for the neurofibromatosis, but it does lumps on the skin, as you can see.
Huh.
It can do nerve pain.
Yeah, each of us have our struggles. It's hell to get old, is what I'm coming to the conclusion of.
But with me and stuff, I was pretty much born with it. And with my speech, you could probably tell a little bit, but Grant, when we're talking in person, not on camera, you could probably tell a little bit difference in my tone and my talking, and my slurred speech.
A little bit, yeah.
You can actually now I'm telling you that, now you're paying attention to details of what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, each of us have our thing. Back in the day, I had a skin fiber cancer in my thigh that I went into a video about, and that's the reason I can't get tattoos, is because anywhere I get any kind of ink on my body, it would just bloach up and screw up the tattoo anyway, so it was pointless to get one. And that's partially what this is, probably, is a fatty combination of a fatty deposit and a skin fibers cancer. That's pretty much malignant, but it means I have to continually get bumps cut off or live with them. As far as I know for now, anyway, and then it hasn't turned into a cancer that can spread yet.
And it's like for me, like the bumps he's talking about, this can't hardly be removed because this is going to grow back.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is I can get mine removed, but they're just going to grow back anyways. There's a good chance that they will. If you don't get all the skin cells or the cells or something like that, they grow back anyhow. But I get to go play outpatient and get those cut off, and essentially what outpatient means is I'll be awake for it. They take a local shot there and shoot you with a numbing agent, and then you get to watch them cut your skin apart.
But there's always an option too, if it's like a same day surgery and stuff, like you're in and out in less than several seconds, you can always request to be put under too.
Yeah, if you want to, they give you the option to be put out and under or not, but they look at you like you're a big wimp if you get put out for just underneath that. But there is a risk of being put out. If you get put under, there's a risk of not coming back, though, too, for and anesthesia. And so that's why a lot of the doctors recommend that if you can just take a local, to take the local. Because there's always a risk anytime you do anesthesia of any kind.
And you could die either way of being awake, too.
Oh, yeah, either way you could die if they screw something up. But that's the reason for my coming off the road health-wise, and then that's the reason is for him going on in terms of our health is a fact of getting older, aging. You know, can't really slow down the age table. I wish we could find the fountain of youth. Go back to at least college, right?
Yeah, well, I can too. 2012. I think not 2012, 2013.
13, yeah. Yeah, go back to 13. That was.
It was 2013 in winter, the winter one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we met in the college class.
It was that stupid night class. I think that's science hill for Tree or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah, he probably doesn't remember that.
So it's been coming on 13 years now that we've known each other. At least. Let's see, 26. Yeah, so 13.
No, almost 13.
Yeah, almost 13, yeah.
It was in November.
Yeah, because so this coming November would be 13, yeah. That's correct. But that's the reason I'm coming off the road mainly is because I have to attend a bunch of appointments that it'd be too costly to go out on the road and come back and go out on the road. So it's just cheaper and easier to get a local job and stay there and get an appointment.
And also, if you do looking for a college and stuff, try to find local grants that you don't have to pay any money to.
Well, for me personally, if I want to go back to school, I submit a really long letter to the tribe as to why I want to go back to school. And please give me the money, and this is how many classes I need. And especially if I only put that I need those 2 classes to graduate, they'd say, here you go. Here's the money. Do you want a dorm to go live in? That part's all paid for. It's just a bunch of paperwork to get to it.
But for him and stuff, he could play room and board here.
Yeah.
He could just tell his tribe to talk to me. I can agree to a price if no one else lives here. Say, yeah, just show me $250 and stuff.
Yeah, if I wanted to go back.
That'd be just a flat fee. And I know his tribe will and say, okay, here's $350 stuff, not question it.
Yeah, so I take those 2 classes, but really I'm only 2 classes away from graduating anyway, so there would only be 1 semester. But I could always go for another degree and whatnot, and they would continue because they're all about secondary higher education, no matter what age you are.
If he does go back, he's going to make sure how many credits he needs.
Yeah. Which the last I checked was that math class that I was 1 test away. That when all that happened, it was in a different video. And then I have 1 accounting class that I needed to take, and I would have been able to graduate on the credits. Which is kind of a bummer because I was mad at the time that they screwed me over that math class.
They should have just waited.
Or let me take the test back over again. The school should have let me have the ability to take it over again, but whatever, it's a different video. I went into that whole deal a while back. What all happened with that. It is. That's the neat thing about being part tribal members. As long as you're higher than what they call nosebleed, where you bleed out the little out of your nose and then you lose the blood. I'm slightly higher than that, I guess, supposedly, but I still qualify as a degree of blood to be a tribal member. And once you're a tribal member, you can get certain things outside of the reservation, and then if you're willing to live on the reservation, you can get a lot more. If I was willing to live there on Pine Ridge, I could apply for and get housing, and they would give you a house. You live there for a year, and then it's your house. They sign it over to you after you live there for a year and prove that you're living there.
And the thing is, for me, so I have some family have connection to the chief of the chiefs. That if anything that happens, he can do one phone call, and pretty much for me and stuff, I could be what's called honorary a tribal member,
Huh.
which it gets it's a big nightmare, but I could be considered not technically full-blooded, but just like Grant said, a nosebleed and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you know a head of the chiefs that has connection to all other chiefs tribals, you pretty much are almost protected in a way.
Yeah, you can put certain. It goes by your percentage of blood and whatnot as to how much stuff you qualify or whatever. Like a full-blooded Indian would qualify more so than I would, and so on. All the way down the line, they'd be able to get stuff. They'd be ahead of the line before I would be there and whatnot. But eventually, I could get the same kind of stuff, which could include housing, and they give you a job or on the reservation and stuff like that. If you wanted to do all that, I don't want to go actually live on the reservation itself, but that is an option if I ever wanted to down the line.
And sometimes certain tribals like me, if I have connections to the government and stuff, they might let me live on their land and stuff, because then I can easily help them get more money from the government and all that.
Yeah, and so that's the whole point of this video, is to talk about our health. Hopefully the things get better with both of us.
And I'll try to routinely make some videos and stuff on his channel. And I do own a gaming channel, but I can probably tell I play normally called RuneScape. It's called Old School RuneScape.
Huh.
And my other channel I have is called Air Escape. That's my gaming channel.
Huh. Well, there you go. Get a huge shout out for your stuff. You're here for what they call a push for your stuff.
Some of the videos that I made in the very beginning, the audio is really bad, but I'm getting better at it. I'm trying to use cheap editing software, but I'm going to get better and advance up and make more professional.
So that's what your channel names are?
Yes.
If they look it up on YouTube?
Yeah. If I'll probably post the link.
Oh yeah, well you could put the link in the description of this video. Yeah, there you go. That'll work, and then they can go over to YouTube. As for me, in terms of the future content, I can see maybe a delivery video for this last RV I'm taking when I get up there, depending on, hopefully not other things don't happen. And then the apartment video when I get the apartment.
If you do comment on my Airscape account and you mention my Airplane312, please do not mention that, because I'm trying to keep them separate for a reason.
Because certain viewers want to see this and certain viewers want to see that, I suppose, yeah. Alrighty, and that's the end of this video, right? The two combinations. Like and subscribe, leave comment.
And we'll catch you in the flip.
Peace.